Hi everyone, Zara here. I'm doing this week's hobbies at home video. This week we're going to be making a potted cactus succulent houseplant for your homes, bringing the nature indoors. So what will you need to do your potted plant? You will need an old teacup or mug or some sort of pot that you want to put your plant in. You'll need some sort of compost. I've got cactus and succulent compost that I've had for years, but you could use any normal compost and just perhaps add in a bit of sand or a few little tiny rocks for drainage. You're going to need your watering can and also your plant. So this one I'm using is a cutting off my spider plant. It makes so many of them, so they're always coming up. I think I did a load for Christmas presents this year, and I think I did about 8 or 9, stripped the plant clean of all the spider babies, as I call them, and it's already got like another 8 of them on there, another few shoots. So I've just taken one off. You can see it's ready for planting because it's got the new roots forming at the bottom there, if my camera will zoom in. So that one's ready to go. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is fill your teacup or your vessel up with compost. I don't tend to put a hole in this just because I'm pretty slack with watering them anyway, and mine have all been fine. So if you're doing like me where you haven't got something with a hole in the bottom for drainage, just make sure you don't over water it and waterlog it. So you need to fill that one up with some of your compost, if you can without breaking your cup. This one's an old cup that I've got. Okay, don't fill it right to the top just because you're going to be putting your plant in a minute. I do it fairly loose at this stage because I'll pack it in once I've popped the shoot in. Okay, so that should be enough there. My compost has got quite a bit of nutrients in, so there's lots of big bits in it. Okay, so I've done that now. What I need to do is just poke a hole in the middle. That's where my shoot's going to be. Okay, and it is super easy, this. I am not a gardener, but I have had all my plants grow and take to being potted up. So just pop that one down. Make sure you've got it the way you like it. Is it central? It's not tilting towards one side. And then what I do is I just pop it down. Okay, pat it down. If you want to make it look pretty, you can add in those little decorative rocks that you can get for fish tanks and things like that. Or something I did use a few years ago was old eggshells that had been washed and just crushed down and then scattered on top. Sounds funny, but it looked really good. And then we had some shells from the beach, little tiny ones, which I'll be able to show you in a bit because I'll go and show you the one I did. But they were just on top. So that's all potted now. So I'm just going to dampen the top of the plant here, literally a tiny bit of water because I don't want to dampen it. And then what I'll do is I'll make sure that I keep it damp and water it every few days, and then after a little while your plant should set down new roots and then you'll start to see some growth on top as well. Okay, so that hobbies at home was super easy. We're all done now. You can do that with any number of plants. I've done it with cuttings of cactuses and different succulents. If you have a Google online about how to propagate cactus and succulent cuttings, you'll be able to see there's a wealth of information on how to repot your little cuttings. I've just done it with the spider plant, which I'm looking at. And they just take so well. I got bought one years ago, a tiny little cutting, and I have about 20 off this one plant, and it is massive, so I will go and take a picture and show you in a second. If you have a go at this hobbies at home, please let us know. Take a picture, pop it in the comments box or email it in to us because we'd love to see what you've been up to. Alright, thank you, take care. Okay, so this is the tiny spider plant that I bought quite a few years ago, probably about 5 years ago, from a school fair, and it's putting out new shoots all the time. So I've still got one there, quite a few there. And what you'll find is that when your cuttings, if you've got a spider plant, when your cuttings settle down and got their new roots and new growth, they'll probably create new ones that you can make new plants off. And this is one of the ones, the first ones I did, and you can see it's not looking as great as it did originally because my cat knocked it over. But this is the eggshell bits and pieces here, and there's little tiny shells there as well, just to make it look decorative. And it's in one of my old cups as well. So just be creative with it and have a go, and you might end up with some crazy plants like mine.